Mayor, were you talking? Because I can't hear. Councilman Williams, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I was just trying to see, was it me? Because I couldn't hear the mayor.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, perfect. Okay, trying to get video back on. There we are. All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another meeting of the Inkster City Council orientation session. The time is now 6:04 p.m. on April the 5th, 2021. City Clerk, you did say that Councilman Shaw is going to be running a little bit late.
Yes, sir. He will be about 15 minutes late.
Okay.
And I don't think Mayor Pro Tem Howard will be on.
All right. Then.
Excuse absence.
Okay. All right, look like we got everybody else in attendance. All right, let's get right into it. As it relates to the agenda for tonight. Now, with the presentation for the letter for the Moors, is this something that will be, is it a presentation that's going to happen, or what's going on with that, City Clerk? Just a letter.
Yes, I let Mr. Samuel Ward Bay know that he will be giving a presentation in regards to the letter and what he's seeking to have council to approve. And so maybe that could be at the next meeting, but he wanted to give a presentation first.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, getting into new business. Item A, is any questions going around the council? Any questions on item A? All right, hearing none, moving on to item B.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, yes.
Go ahead, Councilman Chisholm.
All right. Video on. There we go. So item A, I was just wondering if let me load this up because I can't see it. If the city attorney had reviewed the contract already and added the appropriate legalese or the clause, whatever that they normally add, because I didn't see that at all.
All right, BJ, can you speak to that, please?
For bottom line, yeah, our attorneys and their attorneys have gone back and forth, and our attorneys have signed off on what's in the contract.
Was there any portion of the contract that they should consider that they considered amending, or they signed off and everything was good?
There were several changes that were made. They went back and forth like 5-6 times before signing off on this.
And we do have David Jones on the call too as well, Councilman Chisholm.
Okay. Cool. If he wants to address any of the questions related to that, I'm open to it.
All right.
Good evening, Member Chisholm. Yeah, we did review the contract and include the termination for convenience clause. And as the city treasurer indicated, we have reviewed it and gone back and forth with regard to the language several times. So that clause is in the draft.
Okay. Well, I have additional questions, so just feel free to jump in because you all might have covered these. We just haven't seen what the changes are. What does this contract speak to when it comes to the courts in a different state and not in Michigan? That's on page 21, item J, subsection 1 and 2. Or I'm sorry, not what, but why does the contract speak to courts in a different state and not in Michigan? I don't know how that jurisdiction stuff works, so I was kind of confused. It was speaking to states on the East Coast.
Is Zach or anyone from Bottom Line on right now?
Yes, this is Josh Fox, the CEO of Bottom Line. Hello, everybody.
Hey, Josh.
Hello.
We just happen to be we're a New York LLC based company. But if you need to change that, I'm sure we wouldn't have an issue.
No, that is, this is David again. That is one of the issues I thought we brought up with regard to jurisdiction in Michigan. I was looking for a copy of the draft that you had, Member Chisholm, but yeah, all of our contracts, we agreed that items and controversy should be handled in Michigan courts.
I'm a University of Michigan grad, so I love Michigan.
Sounds like
No,
he's trying to get the points there.
Unless
Josh,
you guys,
I'm sorry, Josh, while we got you on the line, would you just speak to what it is that we're trying to do here? A little bit about
any red lines or any kind of changes like that, we'd be happy to look at the red lines. I mean, I'm not the general counsel of the company, but anything that you guys have in terms of responding to those changes, I'm sure 97 to 99% of the time we'd be okay with them.
Okay, so just tell us a little bit about your company and all that good stuff for the general public.
Oh, sure. So ironically, we're speaking now. Our 12th anniversary was actually last week. So we've been at this for a while. I started the company back in 2009. And the name is very appropriate, Bottom Line. We come into organizations like yours every single week, and all we do every day, all day, is help our clients save money. And with COVID, our business has become so much more relevant because whether it's the public sector or the private sector, organizations are looking for ways to control their costs, to save money, and do it without ever having to let go of any personnel. And that's who we are. Like, we feel confident that we can save the city money. We work on a contingency basis so that there's no fees whatsoever ever to the city unless we save money. And if we save money, we share the savings together. So this is a all upside, no risk opportunity. And the other nice thing is that we don't even look to change your vendors. So we're not coming in and doing an RFP. We're not coming in and calling competitive companies. We have data for 1,500 other clients of ours to know what our clients should be paying for these products and services. So we just come back and send you our analysis and say, hey, how come the city of Inkster is paying $1 and we have 100 clients down the road paying 85 cents? And so we use that information, that data, to just help you guys get better deals, and then we share the savings with you. So it's a pretty awesome opportunity with COVID to be able to save some money and have a company on your side that's completely on your side and has no other agendas whatsoever. We're working for you, not for any kind of vendor or side company.
And do you have any other clients in the state of Michigan?
Massive clients in the state of Michigan. So we have a testimonial on our website from the chairman and CEO of Domino's Pizza. Of course, a very, very illustrious company in Michigan. David Brandon has been a longtime client of ours, for anybody who may know David. We have a wonderful testimonial from him on our website. We've done Domino's Pizza for about 7 or 8 years now. We've done Meijer. I mean, what an amazing company in Michigan. Of course, the supermarket chain. We're working with many of the executives at Meijer. We just got the go-ahead from the Detroit Pistons. We haven't officially signed the contract, but we're very close to getting the deal with the Detroit Pistons. We also have a partnership with the NHL for the sports fans out there. So we have a contract to do every single team in hockey. So whether it's a sports team, whether it's a supermarket chain, whether it's a pizza company, we've really got some amazing clients in Michigan.
Any municipalities?
We are currently speaking to the city of Warren, but other than that, we haven't, for our history, we haven't really focused on municipalities. Ever since COVID, we've really honed up our opportunity to work with municipalities. Today we made a presentation to the city of Miami Beach. Miami is actually where I'm currently located. So a lot of our municipal opportunities have kind of come about new with COVID because a lot of governmental organizations are really hurting and looking for ways to save money.
All right, Councilman Chisholm.
Yeah, that answered the majority of my questions. And it condensed it down to one final question. One of the questions was, why would we need a consulting group to tell us where to save if we have department heads who review, what goes on in the departments and should know how to save money in the department that they were hired to govern. However, when him mentioning that they have data from all of these different groups or entities, if you will, to compare and contrast and bring it back to the table, that did answer, one of those particular questions. So my final one is, we kind of get into this thing where I know a lot of times there's back and forth going on between attorneys to attorneys, but we don't see all of that, and we don't ever see a final clean copy of what we're getting ready to vote on. So I was just not necessarily lost, but I guess if Attorney Jones could speak to, or VJ or whomever has been doing a lot of these dealings, let us know what all the changes that have occurred in what we've seen versus what we're going to vote on tonight. That would help out a lot to just solidify the vote, so we don't think we're voting on the contract previously that we may feel like has flaws in it versus what they've already worked out and got changed.
Well, I can't speak to all the versions. I mean, we have dozens and dozens of emails back and forth. So I'm going to trust that you received the last version, but I would recommend that you vote subject to final review of the city attorneys and address any questions you have remaining that are outstanding. For example, the jurisdiction should have been changed to Michigan. That would be, your vote could be subject to jurisdiction being changed in Michigan. But like the treasurer said, we have reviewed this. It's been going back and forth between myself, Harry, and Bottom Line Concepts for probably over a month now. So I can't recite for you all of the various changes and back and forth that we've dealt with right now off the top of my head. If you have any lingering questions or concerns as it relates to you approving it, I would suggest you bring those forward and then we can address it, other than the ones we've already have.
Oh, that's fine. We can vote subject to final review of all the changes.
I have I'm sorry.
Oh, thank you. I yield the floor.
Councilwoman Washington.
I just had a question in regards to the consultant fees. Number two, C2, where it says cost savings achieved for each of clients' independent locations shall have a separate consultant fee commencement date. If the person from Bottom Line, can you explain that to me for C2 in the contract?
Sure. Yeah, so what that means is that if you have 100 pieces of real estate, I'm totally making up a number, and we go help you save money on an expense, like let's say an electric bill. And for some reason, the first 50 locations get implemented on May 1st, but it takes another month for the other 50 locations to get implemented from the utility company. Our savings commensurate beginning date is the date in which those locations are set forth. So it's the same period of time. It doesn't change the length of the contract. It's just that sometimes when our clients have so many locations, they all don't get implemented on the exact same day.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you for answering that question for me.
Yeah, anytime.
Any other questions for Mr. Fox? Any other questions for our attorney? All right, moving right along. Item B. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Yes. I just have one question, Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead, Councilman Chisholm.
I didn't see in the packet anything with regards to insurance. So I just wanted to know if the applicant can provide insurance coverage to the city clerk naming the city of Inkster as additionally insured. And that's on page 32, class 2 permit.
Yeah, for sure. And to that city clerk, is that in the actual?
Yes, and they, upon approval, they know that they will be providing me with insurance. They just wanted to wait to get approved first by city council before they had that. And they will be naming city of Inkster as the additionally insured.
Thank you very much. I yield the floor.
All right, Councilwoman Washington.
No, I'm not sure if, of course, if this has to be actually in there or if this usually is ever in there because of COVID. But I know it stated 600 to 950 motorcycle riders and event attendees, and the Michigan numbers have been rising. So, are there anybody from that motorcycle group on the call to address that? Of how they plan to?
If they're not on right now, I think they're supposed to be on at the 7 o'clock meeting. But I do believe and Mayor, please correct me if I'm wrong, but outside events can do 1,000 people. Am I clear on that? Is that
I'm gonna
correct?
yield that to the. I'm gonna yield that back to the attorney, so we're all on the same page as it relates to what it is. But I know that the recent numbers are that. But how do you control that number? And as it relates to social distancing, I understand what Councilwoman Washington is saying.
Me too. Maybe they should have, I mean, I'm sure they will wear a mask. Is someone on the call from the Inkster Crovers?
Let's see here. I don't see any familiar names, but I know that they're supposed to be on at 7 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll definitely be working with them. And that's why we wanted to make sure that we brought this forth to the council as it relates to the fact that it is our property. So, of course, being insured and then, following COVID protocols it has to happen as it relates to the executive order. So we'll definitely be monitoring that if given permission to allow this to happen.
Okay, thank you for answering that. I'll just wait until they get on.
Okay. Any other questions as it relates to item B?
I just had one, Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead, Councilman Williams.
In the request, are they guaranteed to clean up the property after the event?
Oh yeah, they definitely have to do that, and I know that they have a lot of pride in what they do, and they have a lot of pride in our community. So we'll definitely make sure that that's done.
Okay, because that's my property. That's my district, and I want to make sure it's back clean when it gets through with it.
No doubt about that.
Yes, Councilman Williams, they did inform me that they will be returning the Inkster grounds back to how they were when they got them. They will be cleaning up.
Amen.
Okay. Any other questions? Relates to item B. All right, item C. Any questions?
I got a question on that.
Go ahead, Councilman Williams.
I'm trying. It's kind of confusing to me. They're asking to be a nonprofit organization to the library, or what? I mean, it says Friends of the Library as a nonprofit within the city of Inkster. Okay, what kind of recommendation did we get from the library board on this? I don't feel the council should vote for something that unless the library board, unless the elected officials of the library board is A1 agreeable.
Yeah, I think all this does is for.
Hello.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to interrupt.
Okay. Is that a library? That must have been one of the people from the library, Trey.
Yes. My name is Sarah LaBrelle, and I am the secretary of the Friends of the Inkster Library. We are a nonprofit, and we have been recognized by the state of Michigan and by the IRS, and we are a licensed charity. What we want to do is register with the state charitable organizations license bureau so that we can do a raffle, which is less than $500. Does that explain who we are and what we want to do.
Now, I have no problem with that, okay? And we do know that you have to, show, be recognized as a nonprofit within the community. But the concern that I have is, because I think that you talk about the proper procedure. I think first of all, the first letter of recommendation of this this nonprofit should have been recommendation should came from the library commissioners who's elected by the people, and that they should have had a letter along.
Well, when you get a chance, I can't see you and I can't tell when I should talk, but based on our reading of the proper thing to do, they did not mention the library board. What they had us do was go to the city. Those were the instructions that I got when I called the state licensing bureau.
Right. Okay. Well, the problem I'm saying is the library it's got a different name. Okay. Well,
actually, we are the Friends of the Leanna Hicks Public Library Foundation. And actually, the person who is our spokesperson, and because I'm calling by phone and a member of the public, it would be Connie Mitchell, who actually submitted this discussion action. And the reason that I am talking, because as secretary, I have all the documents in front of me.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
The point that
I do see that.
You're asking us. I'm breaking up.
No, I'm here.
You're asking us to recognize you and vote on record that you are a nonprofit organization. I haven't seen any write-up or no paperwork saying that. So how can I sit here and vote and say that you're a nonprofit organization?
Miss Connie did submit a write-up when she asked for us to be on the agenda, and she submitted it through Felicia Rutledge, and it should be there.
Excuse me,
again,
Sarah.
Yes.
This is Connie.
Good. Please take over.
The Leanna Hicks Library, Friends of the Leanna Hicks Library, Leanna Hicks Public Library Foundation has been in operation in the city of Inkster for many years. It was begun by Leanna Hicks, who is now 100 years old. This is nothing new in the city of Inkster. We work with the library. We work with the library board. The library board is fully aware of our existence and welcomes our participation in making the library in the city of Inkster one of the best that it can be. So I'm not understanding why we have to jump through all those hoops. We're simply asking this. It should be a matter of public knowledge that the Friends of the Library do exist, because we are, as I said earlier, connected with the library board. The library board is fully aware. The president of the library board comes to our meetings. So there should be no question that we are a legitimate group. We're simply asking that you simply recognize us as a nonprofit operating in the city of Inkster, Michigan. We have, as Sarah stated, we do have all of our licensure in place from the IRS down to the state. And in order to do a fundraiser which will benefit the public library in Inkster, we need to have the recognition from the city, not from the library board itself.
Okay, so let me ask a question.
Okay, let's stop right. Let's stop right there. Hold on. Let's get decent and in order.
No,
we have to be in order. Okay.
No, and I was saying I didn't see any nonprofit papers with it when it came over. And I'm just saying is when you ask somebody, I don't know whether you file with the federal government as a nonprofit organization or not, but you say you are. I can't do but take your word. But when you're asking me to vote for something that's going up there with my name on it, saying that you're a nonprofit organization with the federal government, 501c3, and haven't seen the paperwork, I mean, I can't vote for it, okay? And then if you brought a letter, and I don't know why a support letter wasn't given by the elected commissioners of the Atlanta Hicks board. I'm not trying to stop.
Because that's not your process, Councilman. You need to understand your process in the city.
Let's
That's
stay
not
in
what
order.
we instructed
Let's
to
stay
do.
in order. Let's stay in order. And I don't think this should be a big issue.
It should not be, sir.
Okay, Councilwoman Mitchell.
Nah, they putting it up here now.
Councilman Williams.
Yeah.
This should not be a big issue. I know that this is for our community. Let's move this forward. All right, next item, please. Item D. Any questions, council? Item D. All right, we do have a change as it relates to item D. And Troy, you can take that down now, please. As it relates to item D, we do have Jerome Bivens. Can you speak to that? What's the change on that, please?
Yes, sir. The actual lease agreement is not the one that you have before you in the council package. It's not the actual council package. The one that was submitted last Tuesday has the corrections on it, which would be from March 30th, 2021 to December 31st, 2021. These are all three of my council requests had to go before the attorney for approval, as council has asked me to do previously on contracts and agreements with the city. And I submitted all three of them to the city clerk's office on Tuesday. But this draft was used and the other two drafts were used, but she has, I don't know if she has or not, but the new council requests and packages were submitted to her last Tuesday.
I have them, Jerome.
Okay.
Okay, so the only change, Jerome, as you're talking about is the date. So March 17th should be March the 30th?
Yep, it should be March 30th to December 31st, 2021.
Okay. Any questions from council or comments? Item D. All right, moving along, item E. Any questions? Go ahead, Councilman Chisholm.
This is just a question for Mr. Bivens. I just was wondering, how often do we pay contingencies on projects like this? Because I know that's always something that's incorporated for the unforeseen.
I've been fortunate so far. I think the only project I paid contingency on was the Annapolis Road project, but the other ones have come under bid. You know, what we actually approved, we paid less.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any other questions as it relates to item E? Move right along to item F. Any questions as it relates to item F? All right, hearing none. Item G. Any questions on item G? Hearing none. Item H. Councilman Williams, you had a question on item H?
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, but you jumped from item F. And I mean, you.
Okay, what's your question on item F, sir?
I just want to know exactly this amount and where it's coming from and stuff. It's coming from the water pollution control. Is this the same thing that we was talking about before about engineer costs or doing a survey of our lines?
Mr. Bivens, please speak to that.
What you have before you is a mandate from the SAW grant, which we got in 2016 in November. We got $2 million. And what we did is we surveyed a third of the city storm sewers. And from this, we had to put a project together. And what we did, along with Giffords and Webster, we sat down with the city Platt Moran, the mayor and I, we sat down, we came up with a project for the next 20 years, funding this for $3 million a year, which is part of the water rate increase that we approved this past July. So what it is that we're going to be going throughout the city, starting in the worst section, which was the northeast section of the city, lighting and replacing stormwater sewers, which increases our flow, cuts down on flooded basements, and improves our system, which is really outdated, hasn't been improved in years. So that's what this has come from. And yes, the funds is from water fund, which has already been approved in the water rates for this year's budget. We have $3 million for the next 20 years come before you in each budget. Did I answer your question, Councilman Williams?
Yeah, but I'm curious. You got down here northeast. What do they cover? I'm trying to figure out.
That's from that's like northeast section would be from between Inkster Road and Beach Daily. So we will be on South River, Sunnydale, and one more street over there. I believe it's Oakland.
All on the north side, on the other side.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. So what about the part over there, the part that we have on the south side? Is that going to be taken care of over there?
Yeah, this is a 20-year project, sir.
Oh, okay. So
this is just the first year.
Okay. All right.
Did I answer all your questions, sir?
Yes, sir, you did.
Thank you.
I didn't realize I was on mute. Sorry about that, guys. Item H, any questions on item H? We did G, item H. All right, hearing none. Item I. Any questions on item I? All right, hearing. I'm sorry, sir. Councilman Williams?
That's the young lady that we had, the contract we was talking about for 6 weeks?
Yes. Okay. And she is on the call tonight if you want to ask her any questions. All right, moving right along. Attorney Jones, do we have anything for closed session? Attorney Jones?
I'm sorry, I couldn't unmute in time. Yes, we do have two matters, the Blackwell and the Murray matter.
All right, motion to go into closed session.
So move.
Is there support?
Support.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Watley,
Yes.
Councilmember Williams,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem has an excused absence. Councilmember Washington,
Yes.
Councilmember Shaw, and he's trying to get on right now. And Councilmember Chisholm.
Yes.
So Mayor, we have 4 yays, and Councilman Shaw is trying to get on now.
All right, good. If we can just direct them right into the breakout room.
Okay.
Yeah, oh, there he is right there. Good. Councilman Shaw, you there? I did see him come in.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Let's go into breakout room and we're going to go into closed session and we'll try to be out right before the general meeting at 7 o'clock. Thanks, Troy. Sure. Good. All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another council meeting of the Inkster City Council. The time is now 7 p.m. on April the 5th, 2021. As we call this meeting to order after the Pledge of Allegiance, Pastor Mario Newell from Line Up Community Church will be bringing us a prayer for our city, and then we'll go right into roll call. So if you will join me in pledging allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic in which stands one nation under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Pastor Mario?
Yes, greetings, Mayor. Greetings, City Council. We're going to have a word of prayer. Father God, we just come before you right now in the name of Jesus, Lord God. We just thank you for this day, Lord God, because this is the day that you have made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. We pray right now, Lord God, that you be in this meeting. I pray right now, Father God, that the wisdom of God rest upon them right now in Jesus' name. We pray right now, Lord God, that you in the midst, in the mighty name of Jesus, Lord God, have your way within the meeting, Father God. And we just thank you and we praise you right now in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Mario. Roll call, please, City Clerk.
Mayor Wimberly.
Here, reporting from Inkster City Hall.
Mayor Pro Tem Howard has an excused absence tonight. Councilwoman Wiley.
Yes, reporting from my home in Inkster, Michigan, County of Wayne.
Councilman Williams. You're on mute, sir.
Here at my home in the city of Inkster.
Councilwoman, okay, thank you. Councilwoman Washington.
Reporting at my home in the city of Inkster in Wayne County.
Councilman Chisholm.
President, reporting from my home, Inkster, Michigan, County of Wayne.
And Councilman Shaw.
Here, Inkster, Michigan.
Mayor, we have 6 present tonight and we do have a quorum.
All right, moving right along. Approval of the agenda, please.
So move, Mr. Chair.
Their support. It's been moved and properly supported. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Chisholm.
Yes.
Councilmember Wiley.
Yes.
Councilmember Washington.
Yes.
Councilmember Williams.
Yes.
And Councilmember Shaw.
Yes.
Mayor, we have 5 yeas.
All right, motion carries. We do have one presentation tonight. Before we get off into the presentation, this actual presentation was brought forth to us from Councilwoman Watley. Did you want to say anything, Councilwoman Watley, before we let Mr. Bay speak?
Yes, this is nothing. I have nothing to do with this. This was not brought by me. He asked how he got things on the agenda. I referred him to administration. I have nothing to do with this.
Okay. I'm sorry, ma'am. The request just came from the clerk with your name on it. I apologize. All right. So, Mr. Bay, are you there, sir? You're on mute, sir. And you have 3 minutes. Yep, you're still on mute. There you are.
Okay.
Hi, how are you all doing?
Good evening.
I'm calling. I'm reaching out to the council about the rights of the indigenous people that are in Inkster, Michigan, and Wayne County, asking you guys to help us stop the discrimination on the indigenous people in Wayne County. The rights of the indigenous people, the Declaration of the Rights of the Indigenous People by the United Nations tell us to reach out to our council in efforts to make our conditions better. So I am reaching out to this great council, letting you all know that you do have indigenous people amongst you, and we want to work with the council to come up with harmonious conditions for we all can move forward as one. I want to ask the council, are y'all familiar with the rights of the indigenous people that is passed by the UN?
If you could just speak to that for the general public.
Oh, okay. Well, the rights of the indigenous people in Wayne County is concerned about our rights of education, about discrimination, about just how they did us with our schools, about our parks, about our roads. We feel that we are being injustice, and we want this council to recognize that we are not niggers, we're not African Americans. We have a direct bloodlines. We are the direct lineage of Moroccans born here in America, which makes us Moorish Americans. I, Samuel Ward, am the ambassador of Temple 13, which has a lawful charter that is passed through by this government. I would like the council to reflect and pay attention to, what is it? It's called House Resolution 75 that was passed in Pennsylvania. And I am asking this council to acknowledge or something of that sort with the rights, well, as far as the rights of the indigenous people. We need acknowledgement. I asked as far as when it was time for the census. I was telling certain people that I'm not a nigger. I'm not an African American. I am a Moorish American. So these things I'm asking this great government and council to straighten out for us, because it's hard for us to move out here with these titles on us. Those titles was given to slaveholders in 1778 and lasted until 1869. And we claim the names of bays and eels. The rights of indigenous people says we have a right to freedom of religion, freedom of government, freedom of law, up under our own customs. And I'm asking this great council to respect that, and so we can move forward. We're honored to honor our religion, our culture, and so we can move forward in this great city of Inkster.
All right, any questions from the council for Mr. Bay?
I just like to say, I don't know where part I don't understand is, because I respect all religions and I respect all human beings. Okay, so I don't know exactly what he want us to do. Okay, you know,
I'm asking this council to support the indigenous people. Let the count and let the record reflect there is indigenous people in Inkster. If you check Inkster's count right now, there says there is no indigenous people in Inkster, and that is not true. I myself is indigenous and have all the paperwork from the Erie Mound Builder tribe and the Moorish American nation that says that I'm indigenous, and I have a couple other tribal members, like 20 or 30 other people that lives amongst us in Inkster that are indigenous, and is failing to connect with this government to bring this to light. As of right now, indigenous people in Inkster is a myth, and it's really reality. We live amongst in Wayne County, and we're not being talked about, we're not being recognized. I understand that people respect us, but it's a difference from being on the count, is a difference from understanding our culture, is a difference from bringing this to the light and making this as we're asking y'all to help us push this national movement that there's indigenous people in Wayne County, and in Inkster is not talked about. I have went up the ladders, and they telling me to start with my great city council. They asked me, do my city council know that there's indigenous people amongst us? And I said, I don't know. So this is what this meeting about. I'm asking this great council to support and recognize indigenous people on paper, not just in thought. We need something on paper to say this council supports and recognize indigenous Moors and indigenous Americans in Inkster, Michigan, and Wayne County. There's nothing on paper that says Inkster supports indigenous people. Is nothing on paper that says Inkster is supporting the indigenous people on stopping discrimination in our neighborhood. By stopping discrimination,
okay,
would this be, I got a question, would this be by proclamation? Or how, I mean,
we're just hearing this. Mr. Ward, we're just hearing this for the first time. So what I would like to do is you presented the information to us. I know that our special projects manager is working with someone actually at the state level as it relates to the rights of Indigenous people, because it is law that, of course, we recognize Indigenous people within our community. And I know that she's going through that process right now. So what I'm going to do is from this meeting, connect you with her. Her name is Tracy Ann Jennings. She's actually on the line tonight. And the person that she's speaking with at the state level, and then we'll get something back so we can present it correctly to this body. All right, let's move forward. Is there any questions for the council for Mr. Bay? Any other questions or comments?
I had just a quick question because I know Sammy Bay, you stated that it is a couple Moorish Americans and that it's not reported the amount of Moorish Americans. Do you say you don't have that amount of how many people there are of Moorish Americans in Inkster?
Okay, Mr. Bay, you're muted, Mr. Bay. You're still muted. And I think what he was talking about as it relates to the census, the census numbers that just came out.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that it, Mr. Bay?
Yes, I have a accurate count. I turned it in to my Grand Sheik at Temple 13, Pontiac, Michigan, for he can record it for his records and for our records. I can get that over to y'all anytime. If I have to, I'll knock doors. I'll put it on a petition, however y'all want it. My people are willing and ready. I have probably, I want to say over 100 people, but I can say 50 for sure. Guaranteed 50 for sure.
Thank
I
you,
want to
Mr.
give y'all an accurate count.
So, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, go ahead, Councilman Williams.
So what he's saying is, when the census come out, them figures should be mentioned into that census, is what he's saying?
Should include Indigenous people being,
right.
Yes, being recognized within the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm asking the council. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know what you're asking. I know what you're asking the council, Mr. Bay, as it relates to a resolution recognizing Indigenous people in our community. But again, what I want to do is I want to make sure that we connect with our special projects manager, because she is working with someone on the state level that the city of Inkster has some formalities that it has to uphold as it relates to the rights of Indigenous people. So that, we're all on the same page. We'll get you connected with her and then the person at the state level, and then we'll get back to the council and let them know exactly what we have to do. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Can I have one more question? Are there
one more question?
One more question. Have there been any Indigenous farms in Inkster? Because we are real interested in farming and cultivating the land out here in Inkster. We want to introduce a farming program to the city of Inkster and a water solution program. We have a direct connection on pure alkaline water.
Okay, and that's something that we can talk about at the administrative level, and then we can move it forward to the council if it's something that we need for them to approve or enact. All right, thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you all.
You're welcome. All right, moving right along. Consent agenda.
So move, Mr. Chair.
There's support.
Support.
It's been moved and properly supported. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Williams?
Yes.
Councilmember Washington?
Yes.
Councilmember Shaw?
Yes.
Councilmember Chisholm?
Yes.
And Councilmember Wiley?
Yes.
Mayor, we have 5 yeas.
All right, motion carries. Going around, boards and commissions. Anyone have any appointments for any boards and commissions tonight?
I do.
Okay, hold on one second. Councilwoman Washington?
Parks and Rec Commission, I would like to I would like to appoint Shirley Hickerson to District 2. Her term expires on April the 15th,
So
2021.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and properly supported. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Wiley,
Yes.
Councilmember Williams,
Yes.
Councilmember Chisholm,
Yes.
Councilmember Shaw,
Yes.
and Councilmember Washington.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, we have 5 yays.
Okay.
All right, motion carries. So Shirley Hankinson to move out of the mayoral appointment into District Number 2.
Yes.
The record reflects that.
And
All right,
I have another quick question. I'm sorry. In regards to the Parks and Recs Youth Commission, do we plan to reestablish that commission? Because I would love to see that be an active commission for these.
Councilwoman, we've been talking about that in conjunction with the Parks and Recreation Commission, that you all as commissioners need to appoint the youth. So we're just waiting for you guys to put up submissions. So
Okay.
it's already, we just need for it to get active. But each one of the districts are represented there. Okay, anything else?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor.
Not at this
Before we
time.
move off of that subject, okay, I thought we was holding up on getting the individual youth involved until we set the guidelines.
No, I don't recall that. If every guidelines relates to
for
what?
the young people, because bring them on now, you know, there got to be a plan for them as junior commissioners.
Yeah, I think they work directly with the Parks and Rec Commission and work under their guidelines and bylaws, and then they come up with their own.
Okay, so you're gonna join them together, you saying?
Well, that's what they should be. They should be working in conjunction together.
All right.
If anyone has anything to add to that, please do. All right, any other appointments?
Yes, Mayor.
Go ahead, Councilwoman
I
Watley.
would like to appoint Khalida Mohammed to the Parks and Rec Commission. She'll be taking over Tania James' spot in District 3. I believe she submitted her paperwork and it was sent out to us.
Yes, she did. Yep, sounds great.
Support.
All right, any support? All right. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Washington,
Yes.
Councilmember Shaw,
Yes.
Councilmember Chisholm,
Yes.
Councilmember Williams,
Yeah.
and Councilmember Wiley.
Yes.
Mayor, we have 5 yays.
All right, motion carries. Any others? All right, as it relates to Parks and Rec Commission for the mayoral appointment, I would like to appoint James Richardson Jr. So we have support for that. Any discussion?
I'm sorry, I couldn't, who supported, I'm sorry.
Support.
Councilman Shaw, I believe.
Okay, thank you.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Wiley. Councilmember Wiley,
I'm sorry, yes.
Councilmember Williams,
Yeah.
Councilmember Washington,
Yes.
Councilmember Chisholm,
Yes.
and Councilmember Shaw.
Yes.
Mayor, we have 5 yays.
All right, motion carries. Moving right along. Congratulations to all the commissioners and those who are continuing to serve. Let's do our community proud. All right, moving right along. Let's get off into it. New business, item A.
Mayor, are there any appointments to the TIFA committee or TIFA board?
Let's look at that. Does it need to be so?
Yeah, we don't have enough for a quorum and we need them to meet this month.
Page number 8, let's see here. And you said page number 8, VJ?
I'm not.
No, it's not 8.
It's the bottom of
No,
the
it's not 8. Yeah, it's not 8. Let's see here.
TIFA.
You said Board of Commissioners, right?
TIFA's on page 13.
The TIF, okay. Tax Instrument Finance Authority. Okay, guys. All right, let's see here. So you have, of course, myself and Mayor Pro Tem Howard. Is Ms. Love still serving?
Oh, I need Tracy. Tracy, do you have the list again? There's only 5 active members right now.
Okay.
And I believe Miss Welslow is not a member, and that's the reason it's 5. So there's no active treasurer.
Okay.
And so what I was hoping is that we could have a few of these board spots filled so that we can get the TIFA board together this month, as the PFM has indicated we need to like essentially refinance our debt.
Yeah, Mr. Treasurer, I just want to make sure, just for point of clarification, you probably should have heard about this before tonight, that you needed these folks. So we could have probably, tried to at least contact those folks that have expired, or either, within our district.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
it was
go
the
ahead.
email that I sent out to you all.
Okay.
So I don't know if you didn't read it all the way through.
Yeah, I
but
didn't see it. Yeah, I didn't see it.
Yeah, it was in there.
Okay. Do we have any appointments for any other council members then? Hearing that.
Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead, Councilman Chisholm.
I was gonna ask, I guess, what is the drop dead date that they need to have a TIFA meeting by? And if it's already scheduled, if they could potentially maybe cancel that one and have it at a different date after the next council meeting? Because I'm not aware, but my colleagues, I don't know if they are, if they have anybody who would want to serve on TIFA at this particular time. We might need some time to find some candidates, and the city might need to put out a call to action to get candidates to serve as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Chisholm, were you done, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Councilman Williams.
Did someone approach Charmaine Kennedy for staying on there?
Tracy,
Okay.
I think you reached out to Miss Kennedy, right? I believe that was one where you didn't get a response, if I'm not mistaken.
Tracy, can you speak to that for us, please, as it relates to the board, what you've done? I did see her on the call.
She's on here.
Is she muted?
She is, but she has co-host privileges. If she's having some difficulties, though, maybe she's not able to unmute.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think I'm with Councilman Chisholm. If it's something, VJ, you said that it has to happen by the end of this month.
Yeah. I mean, sooner's always better. But let me, I'll touch base with PFM and find out how long does it take for us to do the paperwork part of it as well. And then we can kind of work backwards from there, and I can let everyone know.
Okay. All right. So we meet again on the 19th. So, we have some vacancies and some folks that haven't responded. So we need, you said, at least 5 members to be active.
We have 5 on there. Quorum is 6. I would just like for us to appoint 5 more so that whatever date we pick to meet, we don't have an issue with the quorum.
How many do you go up to?
How
many members?
13.
13 members of the TIF. Okay.
Yeah. So I'd like, really what I'm hoping is if we have enough quality members that we add them on there, and by picking a meeting date that we know is soon, that it still works for enough of the board.
Gotcha.
But Mr. Mayor, how come we can't just contact these people? We got a study session. We can put them on the study agenda, can't we?
No, you can't. Can't take any action. So it'll be the 19th. So we'll get in contact with them and then go from there.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Item A. I'm sorry.
Just a request. Can we get a flyer or something like that for someone? I know it's kind of different than what we normally do, but I know we're kind of seeking this one out immediately. Maybe we could get a flyer about the boards and commissions, specifically people to serve on the TIFA, with a brief summary of what TIFA does, so we could just get it out on social media, email it to our constituents, so on and so forth.
I like that. I'll have Rhonda get on top of that, and we'll get it out to you guys so you can spread the word. All right, good suggestion, Councilman. All right, moving right along. Item A.
Item A is consideration and approval of the Bottom Line Concepts LLC consulting agreement.
I make a motion that we consider approval of the Bottom Line Concepts LLC consultant agreement. And that is subject to final review of all changes. That is with subject to final review of all changes.
Of the attorney, right?
Of the city attorney.
Is there support?
Support.
All right, any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Washington,
Yes.
Councilmember Chisholm,
Yes.
Councilmember Watley,
No.
Councilmember Shaw,
No.
and Councilmember Williams.
Yeah.
Mayor, we have 3 yeas and 2 nays.
All right, motion carries. Moving right along, item B.
Item B is consideration and approval of a special event, Inkster Blessing of the Bikes, on Sunday, May 9th, 2021, from 10 o'clock a.m. until 6:30 p.m. Applicant is Eric Pritchett on behalf of the Inkster Cobras.
So move, Mr. Chair.
I have a question.
Hold on 1 second, guys. Let's stay in order. It's been properly moved. Is there support?
Okay, I was trying to get the move in, but I just want to make sure that we noted in there, Mr. Chairman.
Is there support? Okay, your support.
As long as they put in there that make sure that they have the insurance for the event.
Yeah, and that's all part of the protocol with the city clerk's office. So they can have the event.
It doesn't say that, so I was trying to get in there. In the
City clerk, please explain that for us, please.
Yes, what happens is, Councilman Williams, is they want to get approval first before they pay for insurance. And so once they receive the approval by you, I will follow up with them and get the insurance. The mayor has the last final sign off on that. And so he will make sure that I have the insurance to provide so that he can give the last sign off on there. Okay.
Okay, so other discussion. I heard another question. Councilwoman Washington?
I just wanted to know if they were on here on our call.
I know that they were trying to get on. Mr. Pritchard?
Can you raise your hand, Mr. Pritchard?
I just asked him to unmute us, so that's Daddy.
Okay, I'm unmuted now.
Go ahead. Okay, Councilwoman Washington, he's here. Question.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, I know like in Michigan, our numbers, COVID numbers are of course going up. And it shows that you're gonna have an expectation of 600 to 950 motorcycle riders to the event. So I just wanted to ask what is the protocols you guys will be following, like with COVID?
We'll be following all the state regulated laws. Social distancing and masks will be required.
Okay, that's just the only question I had. I appreciate you answering that question for me.
And it is 1,000 for outside folks. And I know that I had the attorney looking that up as well. So I think we're all on the same page with that. Of course, 1,000 people for outside gathering. Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Pritchard or anyone else? Okay, hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Wiley?
Yes.
Councilmember Williams?
Yes.
Councilmember Washington?
Yes.
Councilmember Chisholm?
Yes.
And Councilmember Shaw?
Yes.
Mayor, we have 6 yeas.
All right, motion carries. Looking forward to the event, Mr. Pritchard. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, item C.
Item C is consider approval to recognize the Friends of the Inkster Library as a nonprofit within the city of Inkster.
So move, Mr. Chair.
There's support?
Support.
Been moved and properly supported. Any discussion?
I got a question.
Question.
I know they showed on in the orientation. They showed the library. They showed the library what they file as a nonprofit for the state. Do they have the documentation for a 501c3 from the federal government, IRS?
All right, I think former Councilwoman Mitchell was leading that discussion. Are you on the line still, Councilwoman Mitchell?
She is.
Okay. Would you like to speak to that, Councilwoman Mitchell?
And the librarian has her
Yes,
hand raised.
I can.
Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
Yes, we do have 501c3. I can get that to you shortly.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
We have IRS recognition and state recognition.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. And the librarian, you had something you wanted to say? Betty? Let's recognize Betty, Steve.
I just wanted to clarify that the library is separate from the Friends of the Library. So this is the Friends Association, that is the 501c3 requesting for this documentation. Just for that clarification to be out there.
Okay, and just so we're all on the same page, and we know that the Friends of the Library have been around for some time as of now, so we want to definitely make sure that we support in any way that we can. The library is actually beautiful. You guys are doing a wonderful job over there, Betty. Had a chance to come over for the Easter celebration, and it was very nice and well run. So at any rate, roll call, please.
Councilmember Wiley,
Yes.
Councilmember Williams,
Yes.
Councilmember Chisholm,
Yes.
Councilmember Shaw,
Yes.
and Councilmember Washington.
Yes.
Mayor, we have 5 yeas.
All right, motion carries. Next item, please.
Item D is consider approval authorizing administration to enter into a lease agreement with Iali Construction Company, Inc. to utilize city-owned property parcels, acres for staging construction materials from March 30th, 2021 until December 31st, 2021.
So move, Mr. Chair.
Is there support?
Support.
Discussion. Any
Yes,
questions?
Mr. Chair, I have a question on it.
Go
Now,
ahead, Council.
at the end of it, are they going to do any repairs to the property and or the $500 a month? Now, how are we going to work that situation out?
Mr. Bivens, can you explain to us what's going on in the actual property that they're using?
So the property that they are requesting to use is located on Inkster Road, just west of Norfolk. It's the dump site where we dump our spoils at from water main breaks. So what they are proposing in this agreement is to pay us $500 plus clean it up. Right now, you can't get in there because it's full of debris and stuff. So they would go in there and clean it up for us, make it passable, plus any damage or any spoils that they leave behind, they will clean up.
Yeah, so it's actually value
Oh,
added.
the value for us to get it cleaned up.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
That's all.
Okay, I'm sorry, Councilman Shaw, I didn't mean to step on you, sir. Did you have anything else?
That's all I have. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Councilman Williams. Yes, sir.
So what kind of debris they gonna be dumping over there though?
It's dirt, rocks, gravel that we dump over there from water main spoils. The same thing we dump from there now. And they're gonna remove it.
Okay, one more question.
Yes.
Is that over across from Penn's Funeral Home back up in there?
Yes.
Is that what you talking about they dumping?
Yes, sir. Those of you that been around for a while, it's the Comerica site.
Okay. So they've been dumping over there already, right?
Yes, sir. We have.
Huh?
We have. The city has.
Y'all dumped all that dirt over there?
Yeah, we have water main breaks.
All right.
All right.
So they're gonna clean it, they're gonna clean up the site for us of the stuff that we have over there currently. And then whatever they put over there, they're gonna clean it up as well.
Yes, sir.
Is that what we're hearing, sir? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, any other discussions, comments, questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for moving it again.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we was asking questions.
Councilmember Shaw,
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Councilmember Williams,
Yes.
Councilmember Wiley,
Yes.
Councilmember Chisholm,
Yes.
and Councilmember Washington.
Yes.
Mayor, we have 5 yeas.
All right, motion carries. Item E, please.
Item E is consider approval authorizing the Director of DPS to make an application to the Wayne County Department of Public Service for permit to maintain the stormwater management system in accordance with the drawing attached as Exhibit A, the terms of long-term maintenance then plan attached as Exhibit B, and the Wayne County Stormwater Ordinance and administrative rules. Resolution from the local municipality to maintain the proposed stormwater management system and its facilities required.
So move, Mr. Chair.
Is there support?
Support.
It's been moved and properly supported. Any discussions, comments, questions? Mr. Bivens?
Yes,
Hearing none,
sir.
roll call.
Oh,
Roll
I
call,
thought
please.
Councilmember Williams,
Yes.
Councilmember Chisholm,
Yes.
Councilmember Washington,
Yes.
Councilmember Shaw,
Yes.
and Councilmember Wiley.
Yes.
Mayor, we have 5 yeas.
All right, motion carries. Item F, please.
Item F is consider approval authorizing the administration to approve the contract in the amount of $1,844,651 for Inland Waters Pollution Control, Inc. for Phase 1 of Sewer Rehab Project Northeast section of the city. Additionally, requesting authorization to approve a 15% contingency for unseen conditions, the amount of $276,696.65, and engineer cost in the amount of $192,113.36. The total project cost is $2,313,461.01.
What's your pleasure? Is there a motion?
So move.
Is there support?
Support.
For discussion.
Okay, okay, for discussion, go ahead, Councilman Williams.
I was trying to figure out, these are funds that we have. Where are they coming from? This money that you talking about paying for this now?
Mr. Bivens?
On the water fund, that was approved in the rate increase for July 1 of this fiscal year.
Okay, and where about this area is? You saying northeast, but where about?
Northeast section, which the boundaries are from Inkster Road to Beach Daily.
And the actual streets
North
that you're gonna be.
Okay, because one of these projects before, long time ago, was from Inkster Road back, wasn't it?
Say that again?
I said one of these projects before, when we spent a lot of money on, was from Inkster Road back the other way.
We haven't done a project like this. This is the first one. This is
exactly what we're doing, Mr. Bivens? Explain to the general.
This is stemming from the SAW grant we received in 2019, where we received $2 million from the federal government to do a third of our city investigative sewer and cleaning. And from that project, we have put together a scope of repairing and replacing sewers in the city. And we started in the northeast section. This is a 20-year project. So there will be $3 million coming before you for the next 20 years to be approved to complete this project. This project is actually a $60 million project.
And this is the worst area of the city?
This is the worst area. We're starting with the worst area first.
And what are you doing exactly?
We're going to be going in people's backyards. Some of them, we're going to be digging up and replacing the sewer. Some sewers we're going to be lining. It's just the conditions of the sewer. Once the contractor gets in there, open it up and see what we have. So we would be doing that in about, I think we have roughly 20 locations.
Mr. Chair,
okay, will be a list that'll go out. That'll be a public list that'll go out.
I could do that because we've already sent out letters and notified the residents in that area. And then I will provide you the list of streets and locations.
All right, Councilman Shaw.
Now with this type of project, we need to understand that these were the increase in water rates. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
So as we move forward with this, it's in likelihood that it's going to be more increase.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the water rates that we presented to you guys last year, it had a 5-year projection, which included projects like this and other projects that I'm doing in your area too, sir. It's coming up in about a month. I'll be bringing that before council.
Yes, sir. Okay, that's all I have, Mr. Chair.
And just for clarification, Jerome, this is something that we're mandated to do, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What is transpiring with the state now is that when you get funding from the state and you don't have to pay it back, or you get grants, even loans, you have to pay it back. Now they're forcing communities to put together a plan of action once they determine what the problem is. So I have 2 requests now that I'm seeking money for: the Avondale project and an infrastructure water project. And these are coming about because our infrastructure hasn't been touched in years. So no, it's just time for us to update our structure and make the city better. So therefore, when we do stuff like this, the state mandates that you put a plan together, and they want to see that plan follow through. And just like the mayor said, we're constantly on conference calls with the state and dealing with these plans that we have presented on behalf of the city of Inkster. And me and the engineers are constantly seeking out money for the city to subsidize some of this cost.
Very good.
Exactly. That was a good point. That's what I wanted to make sure that you clarified, that the administration is definitely working on grants and working with our congresswoman, our senator, our representative, to make sure that our voices are getting to where they need to at the state level and also to the federal level as it relates to monies coming back to the city of Inkster on all levels. Okay. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Chisholm?
Yes.
Councilmember Wiley? Councilmember Wiley?
Yes.
Okay, Councilmember Washington?
Yes.
Councilmember Williams?
Yes.
And Councilmember Shaw?
Yes.
Mayor, we have 5 yeas.
All right, motion carries. Item G, please.
Item G is consider approval of a special land use, SLU 2029, 2030, 2031, and 2032 for a proposed and previously approved medical and adult use marijuana cultivation and processing facility to be located at 26277 Trowbridge on the south side of Trowbridge Street between Bayhand and Beach Daily in the M1 Light Industrial District. Bieljo, on behalf of HWRJST, Inkster LLC is the applicant.
What's your pleasure? What's your pleasure, council?
So move.
It's been properly moved. Is there support?
Support.
Discussion.
Mr. Chair, I do have a question now.
Councilman Shaw.
How many cultivating centers would we have thus far, with this one included?
Felicia, can you answer that question, please?
We have approximately 5.
So 5 cultivating centers.
Yep, and that's an approximate. I can give you a definite number, but just right off my head, that's what I count.
So we have another one that's on here too. So that will give roughly about 6, 7, right?
Yes, these are allowed in the M1 district specifically.
Yeah.
So these are where these are.
Yeah, I seen that. I seen that. Now, what was the reason why this had expired? I didn't see that. I know it said it expired.
Kaylin is on the call. Kaylin, can you speak to that for us, please? I'm sorry.
Of course. So a lot of times the special land uses expire if nothing happens.
or they don't go pull any permits or submit their final site plans. This project had some changes made to their site plan as well, and they also added the new uses for recreational cultivation and processing. So we just had them submit their new plans with the new layout of their building and with these new uses as well, but they had previously been approved just for the medical cultivation and processing.
Okay. So
what did they originally approve, Caitlin?
Yeah, 2018.
Yeah, I have it in there since 2018.
Okay. Go ahead, Councilman Shaw.
Now, okay, so it has already been approved before, so he's just coming again based on it being expired to redo the recreational part, correct?
Yes, so it's to redo the recreational and to re-up the medical as well.
Now, how often does this happen? That, is this something that happens often, that, individuals will come back and try to, get the recreation, or is it something that they just need to do moving forward?
So this should only happen when they're in the construction phases or if they're proposing a new use for a property. But adding the recreational land use, we have to have everyone that previously got the medical land use, if they want to do the recreational land uses, they have to come back as well.
Okay. Is it any additional cost for them to do so?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
All right, any other questions?
I'm just a little confused on this spot, maybe because since I'm hearing him talk, where is this actually? I mean, I'm reading where it says located, but can somebody give me a Inkster?
Next door to City Hall.
Next door to what?
To City Hall.
Gonna be
on Trowbridge, and the vacant land right behind the PD. Any other questions? Comments? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Washington,
Yes.
Councilmember Shaw,
Yes.
Councilmember Chisholm,
Yes.
Councilmember Williams,
No.
and Councilmember Watley.
Yes.
Mayor, we have 4 yeas and 1 nay.
All right, motion carries. Before we move on, just point of clarification, just got the information from the attorney as it relates to item B, outdoor gatherings to April 19th are only 300. So we will keep our eye on that as we're moving along, and that'll be one of the contingencies as we're moving through. As it relates.
Can I chime in on that?
Please.
I sent the latest Michigan Health and Human Services flyer that specifies the new requirements for indoor gatherings, residential, outdoor gatherings, not residential. If you look further in the attachment that I sent in the email, there is an argument that can be made for the 1,000 participants because it is an outdoor facility, even though I don't think there's any building yet on the old Inkster High premises, correct?
Correct.
If you look at that flyer that I sent you, outdoor facilities are up to 1,000 people, okay?
Okay. That space could handle that pretty good with actually people being spaced out throughout.
Correct, but I want to emphasize that social distancing requirements must be, adhered to in this matter. Because with the numbers in Wayne County and the metropolitan area rising, there could be an argument that it should be limited to the 300 people. But for recreation and entertainment, which I imagine this gathering qualifies for, you could argue it's up to 1,000 people.
All right, then.
All right.
Just wanted to make sure we put that on the record. Thank you very much. All right, item H, please.
Item H is consider approval of a special land use, SLUs 2018, for a proposed medical cultivation facility to be located on the west side of Edsel Street, where the road turns into John Daly in the M1 Light Industrial District. Cody Riley is on behalf of TC Gardens is the applicant.
What's your pleasure?
So move.
Is there support?
This
Is
a
there,
new one coming up?
is there support? We're in order. Are you supporting Councilman Williams?
No, I got questions.
It's been moved by Councilman Williams, Councilman Chisholm. Is there support? Hearing none, motion failed.
So this is a kind of a separate or kind of the same situation as the last one we just voted on, correct?
Well, let's make sure we're on the same page. Item H, if you're not supporting, it's failed. Are you supporting for discussion?
Yes.
Okay, so it's been moved and properly supported. Discussion, go ahead, Councilwoman Washington.
So, Caitlin, can you explain this in regards to the special land use? Is this pretty much like the last one we just voted on?
Yes and no. So this one was also previously approved, I think back in like 2017, 2016, a long time ago. They let theirs expire. This is a new applicant that's come in. There's also been another business that's used that building and now they're gone. This new applicant has come in and they're only doing medical cultivation. They're not doing any recreation or anything right now.
And you said this is a new owner or a new
new leasee, yes.
Okay. No.
Okay, we haven't got to that part yet. We're just on discussion.
Okay, sorry.
And yeah, let's make sure that we understand that this is part of our ordinance and part of the process. It's come out of planning to us to vote on. So just making sure that we know that this is part of our ordinance as it relates to the M1. All right, roll call, please. City Clerk.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, I had to unmute myself. Councilmember Shaw,
No.
Councilmember Williams,
No.
Councilmember Watley,
Yes.
Councilmember Chisholm,
Yes.
and Councilmember Washington.
Yes.
Okay, is there a reason, do they need to put something on the record, Mayor, in regards to their, the reason why they voted no?
Yes.
Because they have to slide with all the.
Yes. So as it relates to the no votes, do you have a reason for your no? Because again, this is part of, and that's why I made the disclosure that this is part of our ordinance. And it's went through the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission has brought it before us as it relates to the special land use. They comply with everything that they have supposed to do. You have to have a reason for saying no. And I'll let the attorney actually, David Jones, can you speak to that so we're all on the same page as it relates to the community as well?
Yes, Mayor. When the owner of a property is conformed the property consistent with the permitted uses and it's come out of our Planning Commission, we have to place an item on the record as to the reason not to support the Planning Commission. Obviously, if it's a permitted use, they're within the legal rights to use that property as they see fit. And we would obviously be subject to any potential litigation for not following our own ordinances and statutes in Michigan, in accordance with Michigan law. So if there is a particular reason for the no votes that would prevent this matter from passing city council, it needs to be articulated on the record so an appeal can, and a record of appeal can be made.
Now it did pass. So do we still need to have those council members state the reason why they said no?
I thought it was a tie, Mayor.
No, it was three nays and two
It
yays.
passed.
No, it was two nays and 3 yeas.
Well, if it passed, it's not an issue.
Councilwoman Washington voted nay, didn't she?
No, she voted yes.
I voted nay, but I mean, the biggest thing is over.
No, wait, hold on, let me stop. We'll stop right there. Point of clarification. Councilwoman Washington, you did say as you were talking about your discussion, you said no, but then we had to go to the vote. And then when the city clerk asked you for your vote, you said yes.
She
Right.
said, Mayor.
So let's make sure.
No.
Let's just make sure we're on the same page together.
When I asked the question, I said no, and then when everyone starts speaking, and we spoke about the fact that this can, of course, open us up to litigation. When the vote came, then I said yes.
That's right.
Okay.
Exactly. So you have 3 yes and 2 no's. The motion actually carries. So that's why I wanted to make sure that we're all on the same
issue. A record does not have to be made. It passed.
Yes. Okay. Motion carries. Moving right along. Item
On a
I.
point of clarification, Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
in order for that to go, you have to vote, right?
No, it's
So
3.
3 to 2, you gotta have 4 votes.
It's 3. No, it's majority. Majority rules, Robert Rules of Order.
I'm trying to.
So we have a
attorney. I'd like to hear the attorney speak on that because
Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's stop. Let's stop right.
Anything in council.
Councilman Williams, let's get you asked for the attorney to speak on it.
The motion carries. It does not have to be a majority of the entire council. We had a quorum, so today is an official meeting. You just need a majority of the meeting present at the quorum. So 3-2 is a majority. So it carries.
Correct. That's correct.
So we got 6 present, but it only 5 voted.
That's correct. That's the majority. Majority rules.
The mayor only votes in case of a tie.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Moving right along. Item I.
Item I is consider approval to extend the human resources contract with, I'm sorry, what is the name of the
Emory
LLC for another 6 weeks.
What's your pleasure?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
There's support.
Yes, support.
Discussion.
Yes, Mr. Chair, if the treasurer can explain the dollar amounts that he has in the packet for covering this, because it looks like we'll be in the red if we cover it with a professional consultant.
We will be in the red, and that's what I wanted to point that out so it was clear to you guys like where we're headed with that. We will be in the red, but it's something we absolutely need to have an HR individual, and that's sort of the predicament we're in right now. So the reason I put this there and I put it with the color is to draw attention to that fact. So, I mean, we will be in the red between these 2 line items. This is true.
So there's not an individual that has applied for the HR. I noticed that you said something is going to start or resume in April.
So this here is actually coming from the projection that is in the forecast file. And it's assuming that we would have someone start 4/19, just in an effort for us to look at things conservatively to add expenses to the permanent salary line, so that we can kind of look at, okay, what's our, I don't want to say worst case scenario, but where could we end up at if we hired someone sooner? We would have more salary costs. So that's why I picked that date. It was intentionally to be like, I believe we have interviews coming up this week. So that's why I picked 2 weeks from today, just in the off chance that we are able to have someone start on the 19th.
We've been conducting interviews already, and Sue Justice is on the line to speak to that. Oh, Sue.
Hi. Yes. So we have been, we started last week as far as our first round. I put it back out into some other places as far as trying to find some more candidates that I think maybe more qualified. We got a range of people that applied that probably weren't really qualified. So I'm doing a little bit deeper of recruiting, I guess I would say, because my main goal here is we want whoever we hire to stay. Obviously, we can see that when we have turnover, it can become pretty costly. So we've worked over the past few weeks to obviously get our arms around the department just in general and develop a job description that would fit what the city needs in that capacity. And now we're really working hard to find that right person. So like I said, we went through the first round. I've got some other phone screenings to do. So yes, I think that fingers crossed we're on that projection that VJ threw out there.
Mr. Chair, when qualifications are talked about, what type of qualifications are already there that people are applying for, and you're saying that they don't meet those qualifications?
Sue?
So what we're looking for is a certain level of experience. We've done some changes as far as the request. Originally, we were looking for a bachelor's degree, which we are. We are looking for a specific period of experience. What type of experience in human resources? Because understanding that the person that comes in doesn't have necessarily other HR support. So they have to be able to come in and know the position very well within the dollar amount that the city has budgeted for them. So that person and finding all of those things to come together, because a lot of the people that I had that had really nice qualifications did not fit our budget. And then we had people way on the other side that really would love what we pay, but they just weren't qualified.
So Mr. Chair, you know, where are we going to find this money? I mean, because we're going to be in the red.
Yep. Go ahead, VJ. Explain.
I mean, it's going to come from our general fund. But again, I think it's something that is a necessity. I know that this puts us out of budget on that specific line. It is partially offset by the salaries line. And then, I mean, the rest of it does come from the general fund.
So this will be part of the amendments that will be put forth before the council to approve, as we talk about those on the 7th and the 8th of this week.
Yeah.
So we should have some better, just handle on it all for you, Councilman Shaw, and of course this body, to make sure that when we're presenting it to you, we show you kind of where we're getting it from and where we're going to put it towards. And hopefully, again, what Sue's saying and VJ's saying as it relates to, he's giving you the worst case scenario if Sue has to stay an additional 6 weeks. We're trying to bring somebody in as soon as possible to get them trained. And if we have overlap, that's where you're going to be running into the budget overrun. Hold on one second. We're still on Councilman Shaw.
Yeah, go ahead.
Councilman Shaw.
I'm good. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Councilman Williams.
One concern. Okay, well, we're talking right now. We're in April, May, and June, the end of this budget. Now talking about running a overrun in the budget for this. I thought that when we talked about this, Sue Justice was going to be the one that hold that department together until such time the end of the year, in of June. So what's happening now that we got to hire this person right away? I thought she was staying until June.
No, it's the money, Councilman Williams. I mean, so for the actual salary for HR director that we're looking for, It's 48 to 51. VJ, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that's
And
correct.
then on top of that, we're looking to, what Sue did, and she's giving you an extensive report on everything that, she's done so far, and now trying to find us a qualified person to take on those responsibilities. The 6 weeks was the discussion right from the beginning when we brought this to you, just because we knew there would be possible budget overruns if we kept Sue on. So unless someone else heard something different, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, I would like to ask a question. I'm not making a motion, but I was asking a question. Well, I think we got on the 7th and the 8th, we're talking into the budget. So why we just don't hold this to go there and take the imposes knowing it's going to be a deficit? Because we see what we got. Because I don't, and I'm gonna be truthful with you. I don't like the look of the budget. Okay, I don't like the look of the budget. I don't like the look of the audit report. So. And to go here and say that we're going to automatically run over again, I just rather hold up until after we meet. So we need to meet. Okay.
Yeah. And I think that's appropriate. We wanted to bring this before his body as we were getting close to the end of Sue's contract, because we would come back again with the budget amendments, overruns. However, we're looking at that on April the 19th for the actual council meeting. But it was imperative that we actually had, of course, our budget session on this week, Wednesday, and then, of course, on Thursday. And if we need to add additional time, we will. So if you want to table this item, I think that that's appropriate to do at this time.
Yeah.
Up to this body.
Who made the motion? Rochelle?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we table it to the next meeting.
I'll support.
Any other discussion?
No discussion on table, Mr. Chairman.
Roll call, please.
I'm sorry.
Councilmember Watley,
Yes.
Councilmember Williams,
Yeah.
Councilmember Washington,
Yes.
Councilmember Shaw,
Yes.
and Councilmember Chisholm.
Yes.
Mayor, we have 5 yeas to table.
All right, then moving right into public participation. Councilman Chisholm, if you would, please, sir.
For those, we are at public participation. For those who have joined us by the Zoom app, please use the raise hand feature to be recognized. For those who have dialed in by telephone, please press *9 to raise your hand, and that way you could be unmuted when it is your turn to speak. When you are unmuted and or recognized, please state your name for the record, and you have 1 minute to speak. And we are going with our first person at this time. And right now, Mr. Mayor, we have some that are still coming in, but we do have 6 people with their hands raised and counting.
Okay, I don't know why it seemed like my feed is over here slowing down a little bit. So, Councilman, if you could just recognize and moving forward.
Yeah. And just for the record too, I know everybody kind of wonders what happens on Monday nights, Mr. Mayor. The Zoom platform did put a notice out, and this is one of their highest used nights. So there's a lot of traffic. So we have a lot of glitches that we can't control.
Gotcha. Thank you for saying that.
Yep.
So you have it.
I'm trying to unmute. There you go.
Hi, this is Betty from the library, and I just wanted to let everybody know that the library is open 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Thursdays, closed Fridays, open Saturdays 11 to 5. And we have a wonderful presentation available at the library this week on ancient kings and queens, and a lot of other programs going on. So visit us at the library.
And if you haven't been to the library, I'm telling you to get over there. You will be so proud because it is beautiful. And Betty and her staff is doing a fabulous job. And of course, the commissioners over there are doing a wonderful job. So we want to definitely make sure that we support. All right, next caller, please.
Hi, yes, this is Charles Blackwell. I want to let the public know that thin-skinned Mayor Patrick Wimberly and the Inkster Police Department blocked me on Facebook and violated my First Amendment constitutional rights. Mayor Wimberly will end up costing the taxpayers thousands because of his blocking and violating of my constitutional rights. Mayor Wembley should end up paying those thousands out of his own paycheck for blocking me and for the Inkster Police Department blocking me on Facebook. Thank you.
All right, and that is Maury Povich. Was that Mr. Blackwell under Maury Povich? All right, let's move right along. Next caller, please. Councilman Chisholm.
Yeah, I guess I don't know if it's going through. I was trying to unmute. Mr. Bivens did have his hand up. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but oh yes, it was.
I muted myself.
Go ahead, Mr. Bivens.
I just want to make an announcement to the public and the mayor and council that today was the first day of compost. Compost started today, April the 5th, and will run through the third week of December. Compost will be picked up every week. And forthcoming this month too, we will have a street sweeping, and I will post that on our Facebook page and our internet to let you know ahead of schedule. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, and clean, safe, and accessible. Mr. Bivens, also too, I don't know if someone else will be making this announcement. I know that Tony is as it relates to the beautification committee, but you have some days coming up for spring clean, correct?
Yep, the first one is this, will be the last Saturday of this month. The third Saturday in May, and then the fourth Saturday in June, and July, August, and September. So, but the first event will be this month, the last Saturday, which I believe is April 26th. So the dumpsters will be at Wheatley Park, Lemoyne Park, Westwood Park, and the Rec Center.
All right, and if you guys have a lawnmower, we're going to be kicking off our lawnmower brigade within the city of Inkster, and we're going to be going around as community, and we're going to be cleaning up different parcels and different vacant properties just as folks in the community. So I'm looking forward to kicking off that initiative. Paul Lee is helping me with that from Gabbard's Concrete. And we're going to be out on our lawnmowers throughout the community. So if you know if anybody that needs their grass cut, please inbox me or put it on C-Click Fix. That's C-Click Fix at the Inkster, City of Inkster's website, cityofinkster.com. All right, thank you, Mr. Bill.
Hey, Mr. Mayor, too, just to piggyback off of what you just said, this month I've dedicated from our department, Clean Inkster. So we will be out this whole month, every day, cleaning Inkster. So you see my guys out there, just tell them you appreciate it. And we will be addressing potholes too this month.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
You're
you
welcome.
Guys have done a wonderful job. Notice you guys are shorthanded over there, but I really appreciate the work that you guys have been doing. And Mr. Williams, I hear you. Let me finish and I'll get to you. So just continue the work that you're doing, and you know you got our support, and we're just trying to get you some guys hired. So you are looking for how many individuals in DPW?
6.
Six. Yep. And what's the qualifications? What's needed and all of that?
Breathing.
We are
trained.
And pride. Have pride too.
Pride, have a driver's license and a good record. We'll train you.
There you are. All right. All right. Now, Councilman Williams, go ahead, sir.
No, I just want to add to that also that on the, I think it's that week before, the beautification cleanup, housing to be cleaning up also in that area. Okay, and then I've asked the director also to join us on that fourth Saturday cleanup with the beautification.
That sounds good. Yeah, Aaron Cooper's been doing a wonderful job. He is the director over in housing. If you ride through housing, you can definitely see the difference on what they're doing on the front. So hats off to all the commissioners over in the Housing Authority and, of course, the director as well. So any support we can be, we can do that.
Churches and several churches are coming out also.
Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. So thank you very much. All right, moving right along. Next caller, please.
Good evening, everyone. This is Denise Champagne. Going to report about the COVID clinic, vaccination clinic, which will be held this Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the rec complex from 9 until 3. The age limit has been dropped, so age 16 and over and residents of Inkster are eligible to receive the vaccine. We ask that you register online, or if you absolutely don't have a computer, register by calling 313-203-2619. Thank you.
All right, and we'll get that information onto our website, our social media site. See Click Fix also too has actual function in there where you can actually sign up to receive notifications. So if you want notifications from the city of Inkster, go to See Click Fix and put in your information, and we'll send you out those notifications as well. Denise, folks are asking to volunteer. Is there any volunteer opportunities for people?
Well, this clinic.
If so, how do they do that?
Yeah, this clinic is being run by FEMA, so we're not exactly sure. Last clinic was run by Wayne County. We're not exactly sure it falls in, but I'm sure we can use some volunteers maybe to help with traffic in the parking lot or coming through the building. So have them call the number and give me their name and we'll put them on a list.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much, Denise.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Continue the good work. Go ahead. Question for Denise? Do we have a question for Denise or comment?
Just good.
Oh.
Thank you. They will be doing the Pfizer vaccine too. Just let everybody know. So it'll be a second visit in 3 weeks.
All right. All right, moving right along. Next caller, please.
I'm sending a request. I was trying to unmute Shirley Hankerson. I'm not sure if she's getting a request or not.
Oh, I'm good. Jerome answered my question. Good evening, all. I'm sorry.
Good evening.
Mayor and council. Yep, I just want to know about the potholes because it's really bad over here on our street, which is Grandview, because we're one street over from Avondale, so we just get a lot of traffic. So our potholes are really large now because people are trying to avoid Avondale and then using Grandview. That's it. But have a great evening, everyone. I appreciate you all.
All right, moving right along. Thank you. Next caller, please.
Good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
This is Octavia Smith, resident of Inkster. First of all, I want to come to you thanking you from the Inkster Chamber of Commerce for all of those who participated and had a chance to get on our very short but very nice mixer. And we did put the information out so that you all can still see it. You can still send in the donation. We will constantly take donations, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was short, but I felt that it was sweet. Also, I want to thank you guys for all the wonderful things that are happening in the city of Inkster, especially when it comes to cleaning up our city, because we have to do this resident by resident and business by business in order for us to make this possible. Lastly, I want to let you know from Western Wayne Family Health Center that we are doing vaccinations daily. I did send the flyer out so that you all can see it, but you can call 313-561-5100 and press 1 for medical and then sign up for the COVID vaccinations. So we appreciate you all. Western Wayne Family Health Center is here for you. So please take advantage of having a facility right in our city. And I thank you all.
Yeah, what a beautiful facility it is. So we'll make sure that Troy has that information and get it posted everywhere, because he's definitely been doing a really good job at that. And we appreciate Troy for making sure you're getting all the information out to the community. All right, next caller, please.
Getting a request is call in user _1.
There we are.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yes, this is Tony Bailey, Inkster Beautification. I thank Mr. Bivens, DPS. He announced everything, but the kickoff date will be April 24th, the last Saturday in April, for our kickoff for our community-wide annual spring summer cleanup. We want to see everyone out to come. We want to clean up our city. We want to keep Inkster beautiful. He named off where the dumpsters will be at. Flyers are available at City Hall.
Awesome.
So I want to see everyone come out.
Awesome, Tony. Thank you so very much for the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
Your leadership there with the Beautification Committee and all of the commissioners there. We're definitely looking forward to the partnership with Habitat for Humanity. The president of for Humanity said that she would be giving up some flowers for the community as well. So we're going to make this into a big block party for the whole community, and everybody out in every district. We'll maybe do some type of competition or something. Pretty sure we can put our heads together and come up with something. So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
Thank you, Tony. All right.
Okay.
Moving right along. Councilman Chisholm, you see any others?
Nope, that's it.
All right, moving right into City Clerk. What you have for us?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to let residents in District 1, Precinct 1, which is the Romulus School District, know that we'll be having a millage election on May 4th. We have mailed out the absentee ballots, and if you need to ballot, you can come to the clerk's office and request one as well. But it's only for District 1, Precinct 1, which is the Romulus School District. They have an operating millage that will be taking place for the vote.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask a question on that?
Of course.
We went through that once before. Okay, about Inkster passing the millage for Romulus. We went to court on that and everything else. I mean, we don't supposed to be tax no kind of millage from Romulus until our debt is paid.
City Clerk, can you speak to that, or we gotta get back?
That's actually a question for the treasurer in regards to that. It was, I don't know if it was necessarily Romulus School District, Mr. Mayor. I have to check into that. I believe it was another school district. I can't remember if it was Romulus or not, but they do have an operating millage that is on the ballot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that if it was something that wasn't supposed to be, they would have not allowed it to go on the ballot.
No, that's not true, Mr. Mayor. They did it before, and when we won it in court. They did it before.
The attorney, Attorney Jones would know if we won it in court. If he's still on the line.
We did win that issue. And Member Williams is correct. The portion of the Inkster residents do have a right to vote on that millage, but they are not subject to being taxed. And Romulus sued us because the prior treasurer elected not to assess the millage on those residents. And we won that matter in court, hands down. We won it at the trial court level, and then we appealed. They appealed it, and the Court of Appeals affirmed the trial court decision. So Member Williams is correct.
So what I'm hearing is that we have a voice where we can vote, but our citizens won't be taxed.
They should not be taxed. They're taxed. They should not be levied. If the millage passes, it should not affect Inkster residents.
And the law says, Mr. Mayor, that you can't tax two schools in two different cities. Okay, they're already taxing us in Inkster, so they can't tax us in Romulus or Taylor or none of them. So we have to watch that because they've been trying to do it.
So what was the difference with the millage that we just, the sinking fund millage or something we just passed for Westwood?
Well, only the people that was in the school district voted for that. See, that's a different animal.
Yeah, we're talking for the schools, and I'll get with the treasurer this week to show him the rulings from the Court of Appeals. And again, we, at our advice, the former treasurer elected not to assess our residents. Romulus School District sued us, and again, we won.
Yeah, but Mr. Attorney, see, the thing with Westwood School District, they get millage money from Inkster because in their territory, but the people that's not in that district doesn't have to pay that. Okay.
Correct.
See they've been paying every year. They got millages over this. That's a different district. See, all the Inkster school district was split up, but then the state had the rule. They was trying to get us to pay taxes to both places. You see, and
You're
then they
correct.
lost.
You're correct.
Good. All right. Well, let's make sure that we follow up with VJ and make sure he's up to speed with that. All right. Thank you, Councilman Williams, for pointing that out. All right. Moving right along. City Treasurer.
I just want to note we filed the June 30th, 2020 audit at the end of March. The state's reached back out to us. They have a few in-depth follow-up requests for us that are due in 30 days. So I am working with Plant Moran on that. One relates on like responses and action plans due to certain findings. And then they also would like, based on our financial performance previously, they'd like budget projections and action plans on that. And there'll be a more in-depth, bless you, in-depth presentation of the audit by Plant Moran during the meetings on, it should be on Thursday.
Can I ask a question on it?
Yeah, let's get these dates for the actual the budget hearing. So what dates and times, VJ, for the general public?
That will be during our meeting on Thursday between 6 and 8. At some point during that, Brian will present the audit.
And Mr. Mayor, can I just clarify, this is a work study session. It's not a meeting.
Yep.
So.
Okay. So work study session on the 7th, which is Wednesday. Correct, VJ?
It'll be presented on the 8th.
From 6 to 8. And then the audit presentation is going to be on the 8th from 6 to 8. Okay. So we may need to add some more time to that, but okay. Or another day.
And then, yeah, so we have the study session coming up this week. I apologize. I've been trying to get the forecast file to you guys today. Something happened with our servers and I do not currently have access to everything. So I'm getting that fixed tomorrow morning with IT and I will get that over to you tomorrow.
So those, Mr. Chair, those are the documents for, Mr. Chair, those are the documents for the 7th and 8th meeting, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
All right.
We have worked with the state regarding a number of our delinquent FDCVT grants, and we've gotten those in. So the hope is that we're receiving a good amount of money back in the next month or two. And I mean, if I'm ballparking the money here, the hope is that it's around 1.3 million. And really that should help us carry through for a little bit. Again, we would still need to ensure that we're financially sustainable going forward. It's not anything for us to sit back on. We're currently working with all 3 public safety unions to make progress on union contracts, which expired last year. And we've officially transitioned the city's banking from Chase to TCF. It was a time-intensive process. I think I want to thank everyone involved with that. We got it done. I know it was started 2 years ago, but we pushed forward on it. And then on the HR front, I always say that Sue has made tremendous progress. One thing that we did want to note is since Sue's contract started February 17th, 6 weeks from then is already expired. So we're in a little bit of a lull. I was just hoping to have a bit more discussion and ensure that everyone understood that between now and the 19th, kind of how best to address that, or if everyone understood that the 6 weeks would be up prior to then.
Okay, I was confused on one thing you said, VJ. You say you already sent the figures and stuff up to the state?
For the state, I was talking about the FDCVT filings.
Okay, because and you know, because we haven't even approved that and passed it to council yet.
These are filings from 18, 19, and 20 that needed.
He talking about the tracks.
Wait.
Be caught up on. That's what he was talking about.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Those are the amounts that'll help us pull in around $1 million.
Our audit report haven't went to the state yet, right?
The audit report did. As soon as Raymond was finished, that was uploaded.
We haven't discussed and approved the audit yet, though. How would that go to the state without us approving it? Because it's
Is that normal? I apologize. Like, as soon as Raymond sent it our way, they said they're uploading it to the state.
Mr. Chair, piggybacking off what Councilman Williams said, yeah, we normally have an audit and it's presented at a council meeting, and we have that presentation, and then we vote on it to accept it.
because they can't send anything to that without us approving it.
So why did we send it? VJ? What did they say, VJ? What did the auditor say? Why did we send it to the state?
It was emailed. The final draft was emailed to me, and they said it was being uploaded to the state.
So have they done that as of yet?
Yeah.
So they sent you, and then they just told you that's what they're doing. Is that what they normally do?
Based on that, that was my understanding. I mean,
okay. So if we don't accept it, what happens? If we don't accept the audit from the way what they presented, I mean, we can say yes, we accept it, or no, we don't accept it. Then what happens? If we say no, we don't accept the audit. That's a question for you, Mr. Treasurer, or attorney, either one.
yeah, it might be more of a legal consideration at that point. The state did turn down an extension beyond April 1st. The audit did get finished March 30th.
Based off of the extension that you had asked for with Inkster Housing.
Like I did just for measure, I asked for an additional extension to May 1st, and that was denied.
Okay. Well, we'll have it presented. It'll be presented to us on Thursday, and then we'll vote on it on the 19th, whether to accept it or not. So we'll put it on the agenda for that. What else you got for us, VJ?
That was.
You don't have to have anything else. I'm just saying.
No, I was gonna say that was the last point.
Okay. All right, then let's jump into council communication. You got a question for VJ? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused because I'm kind of frustrated on something. So maybe you can clear it up. You know, I was following all of the semblance money that they was giving to each city and each state. Okay. Now, the mayor gave me some figures. Okay, that they're gonna be giving Inkster, and I'm very disappointed at it because I know there's some cities that's smaller smaller than us. Okay, budget doesn't reach our budget. Yesterday they getting almost 6 or 7% more money than we're getting. Okay, right. So I have a real serious problem with that. And then they tell us that, they're going to split it up and give us X amount of dollars, and see, I'm hearing 3 or 4 different stories. Okay.
So let me make sure that we're clear. So the estimated monies that's coming from the CARES Act is 2.3 million to the city of Inkster. That's the estimate. Rashida Tlaib, our congresswoman, she originally asked for 5.6 million, but once the formula that they utilized at the federal level went through the process, Inkster with all its demographics based off of the census numbers from 2010, from what I'm gathering, that's what they came up with for us in our population. And I understand that we, along with several other communities across the state, are putting up an argument as it relates to why didn't we get more monies versus say 19 million for one community that only has 10,000 people, and we have 24,000 as our latest census has indicated. So Rashida, along with Debbie Dingle, I know that they're doing a letter along with Senator Betty Jean Alexander, and I'm pretty sure Joelle Jones is a part of all of that on our behalf as it relates to us, getting more money. So, but to look at the actual formula and the way that they did it, it's law now. So it would have to actually go back to a vote to change anything right now. And we are getting half of the monies now. Within the next month or so, the money should be here. And then the next monies that we'll get, the other half of that money, we won't get until next year around the same time from what it stands today.
That's half of the 2.3?
Correct. So you'll get half, we'll get half of the 2.3 now, and then the other half next year.
We need to be talking to her.
But know that we are fighting for that. And Congresswoman Rashida, she doesn't have a problem with coming online and speaking to us. So I'm going to have her come probably at our next council meeting to answer any questions that you guys may have as she gathers more information.
Because I can name some cities. Well, I ain't calling them out. I know some cities right here got less people than we got. Okay, and they got 7 times more money than we got.
Yeah, for sure.
And we know that one city got money over their budget for the yearly budget.
Yep, we do understand that. Yeah. So this is money. This is the formula that came from the federal government. The monies will go to the state and then of course come to us.
I need to know how they come up with that interpretation on it. How to fill
Yes, I think by the 19th, if I can get Rashida on for a little bit, I'll get with her tomorrow and see if she can come on and I'll speak to that. But I believe that again, they're trying to figure out how to get us more money, without having to go back to the vote, because they know that they won't have the support that they need by taking it back to the vote. So believe me, we know. We're trying to the best of our ability to get more. Okay, all right, let's get off into council communications. Anyone? Council communications.
Yeah.
Councilman Chisholm, you got anything?
Yes.
Go ahead, Councilman Chisholm.
All right. I was just going to ask that once the attorneys do the final review on the issue, I think that was item A that we voted on earlier, if they could just submit a summary to council via email so we can see it. And then I also had wanted to ask VJ, once this group does their analysis, will this be coming back before council to vote on the suggestions and recommendations before all the changes are made as far as what they can save us, so we can review it and be in on it, as well as, of course, in the contract, it says they would get, I think, like 50% or whatever the savings would be. I know that would have to come back before us because that's over the $5,000 purchasing policy. I just wanted to know if we could, I'm not gonna say, are they coming back before us? Can they come back before us? Or can we have that analysis presented to us as well so we can review it too?
I can certainly request that.
I'll be right there, VJ. So VJ, let me just say, right, so we can move forward. So yeah, so definitely, Steve, we definitely gonna do that, Councilman Chisholm. I'm sorry. So we're definitely gonna do that, present it to the body, so you guys will see, all the savings, everything that they're doing, and then we can say together as a body, or can we do this or can we do that? However, so yes, we're definitely gonna do that.
And then
that makes sense.
Yeah, that's
Go
cool.
ahead.
And then just my final request. I was looking through the monthly packet, and I know oftentimes different departments might think there's nothing they really need to submit to council, but the packet is starting to get kind of thin as I look through some stuff. And I know there's a lot of different terms that different departments might use and stuff. And I know they're still active. Can we still get comprehensive reports regardless of the fact if it was low activity or no activity in that department at that particular time. Because looking at some of that stuff, I was like, no, I know they did way more than this.
Yeah, and that comes from our department heads, and we know we're definitely working with them there. Believe me, we working, and a lot of them are, just in the, really, to be honest, just overwhelmed because we have a scavenging crew. So I'll definitely make sure that we get on top of that for you. If there's something to report, we definitely want to report it. That's why you get a monthly report from us each month.
Righty, thank you.
You're welcome. Councilman Shaw, you got anything for us, sir?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I was just in conversation with some members that, do we have a nuisance abatement ordinance or of anything like that with the number of calls to a particular property? If a property has more than 3 calls or 4 calls, is it something that we can put some teeth on so that we can make sure that we can put them in order, so to speak, so that we won't have those continuous problems in the neighborhood? Because there are a number of police runs, a number of calls to various residents that, just simply want to do what they want to do. And we do have ordinances in place. So is there a nuisance abatement type of ordinance that we can use with a little bit more teeth so that we can get these people in order?
Yeah, I'm gonna let Sergeant Wall actually speak to that a little bit, but I want to, just say that I commend the previous administration with Mayor Nolan. That was one of the things that they had set forth, the Inkster Nuisance Abatement Program. So they didn't get a chance to put it into action. So this will be the first year that we'll actually be putting it into action, unless Sergeant Wall, you want to correct me on that. But if you could speak to that for us, please. And I did see her come up and get co-host privileges, so you can unmute yourself. You got her, Steve?
Troy did give her co-host privileges.
Yeah, I'm trying to give her get her to respond, but I'm not getting any response on my end.
Okay, so let me just say this. I'll give you guys, because we do have an actual document that the council approved as it relates to the Inkster Nuisance Abatement Program, and this is exactly what you're talking about, Councilman Shaw.
If Mr. Chair, I can get if you can send my colleagues and myself, that information, so we can definitely look over it and make sure that we can get this, implemented. I mean, it's definitely needed, because as we come
we're
up,
implementing it now. So know that that's going to be happening. So I want you to be telling me where I need to go.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, and especially when we're trying to, clean our city. Yeah. I mean, because that's very important. I mean, you got people that's, as frivolous as it may seem to some, leaving garbage cans out, basketball hoops out. And that leads me on to my next statement is that, even with the basketball hoops out in the street, we have a chronic person who just seems to like, he just want to do donuts all over the city. I mean, he's just doing donuts on Glenwood and Harrison, Magnolia. I mean, all in this area. I mean, like clockwork. So I'm just asking the chief and the administration to tighten up on the patrols on Harrison and Magnolia Street, because we did have around 2 a.m. in the morning a lot of gunfire, and it's starting to repeat itself over and over again. And we're talking about the health and safety of our people here. I don't really understand how we come up with the mentality that we want to, use gunplay to solve our problems in a predominantly African-American community or Black community or a community of color, whichever you prefer. It's really disturbing, to have us to, destroy one another. I mean, that's just really mind-boggling, where we should be lifting up one another, helping one another to move this city forward. Reverend Williams talked about how the federal level, they just not giving us money. So we have to do things on our own, you know, and one thing that we have to do is we have to stop killing one another. You understand? We have to stop killing one another. And that is, I mean, that goes throughout the whole city, not just in my section, but the whole city. We got to come together, as I heard the Reverend say. And it's very vital that we do so because we are destroying each other. And this is the psychological plan that is going on. It is before, it has been happening all over. You understand? So let us consider that. And, you know, just tighten up on those streets. I didn't want to, you know, go off into that, but it's really disturbing to my heart to hear at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, rapid gunfire, you know, or people speeding up and down the street where kids are trying to play. You know, they're trying to enjoy their yards. And like I said before, you know, summertime and springtime is coming, and we just can't have these folks just missing a mark and hitting one of these kids, you know, and families are being destroyed because of it. So that's all I have, Mr. Chair. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. And then I just want to just say and just add to that. Number one, we need to be more vigilant together as a community and call those people into play. If we know if somebody is doing donuts and, you know, racing up and down the street, you know, the color of the car, you know, the license plates, numbers, whatever, please call us, let us know. We have to establish our community block clubs or neighborhood watches. We know we have several throughout the community already, but in each district, we need to have a captain, a lead person that we start to organize from the council to the captain or person, whatever you want to call it, a ombudsman or something like that within your community that works with your community policing, community block clubs. We have to do that. We're going to do as much as we can with speed bumps, signage to slow people down. Of course, like you said, you know, as it relates to gunshots and gunplay within the community, I think that comes with, again, us having a community presence within our own districts. So I really want to get with the council on that so we can really start working that up very soon because it's starting to get warm. All right. Thank you, Councilman Shaw. Councilwoman Watley. Is she still with us, Councilwoman Watley?
Yes, I have nothing.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilwoman Washington.
I just wanted to give a thanks to Leanna Hicks Library, along with Betty Adams and the librarian Karen Henry. Last month was March Reading Month, and I was able to go around to the elementary schools and read with them, and they partnered with me. So I wanted to say thank you to them. And that's all I have for tonight.
All right. Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Williams.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a shout out. I really, during this weekend, I had the privilege to go around all of the events that was going on in the city. Okay, the library, Easter program, and over to the group that we have over there. What's the name of that group they have over there? I can't call it by name.
Rising Sun, I want to say. I keep calling them Rising Sun, but I know it's Pauline and Jamo.
Right, Pauline
Jerry Hill.
over there.
Yeah.
And they had
Great
cars
job.
all the way wrapped around everywhere, giving away baskets, you know.
Yeah.
And so I asked her, I said, well, you know, I'm kind of jealous. You're giving all the kids one. What about all of us? She said, get out of here. I said, well, was fine. And then I went over to the Inkster Housing Resident Council, had a beautiful program, and it was just fun. And I thought that the mayor was going to run out there with them kids. I said, don't you try. But it was exciting thing that was going on. And I'm just excited about a lot of things that's going on out in the community, you know. And if we could just cool down the haters, you know, the people that don't care about Inkster, that don't want to do nothing, okay, and let the ones rise up that wants to do something, we're gonna make some difference, you know. So we look at some of our areas and stuff here, you know. I thank God that what's going on. And Mr. Mayor, let me tell you this. You understand?
Sure.
I learned from this is from old school. You know, the young guys always holler about old school. You understand? You know what I'm saying? That means you doing something when people talking about you. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So don't worry about when folks talk about you, good or bad. As long as you're doing something, you understand? See, my daddy told me that long years ago. He said, boy, if you ain't doing nothing, he said, you ain't supposed to be a part of this world, you know. So we have to understand that kind of thing that's going on, you know. And I'm hoping one day we all join together and just have a ball. I like Charles' concept because he's always trying to push out there and just do things in the area, and that's what we have to do. You know, in some of these areas that we have here in the city, community park, we just have to get out there and make an initiative. You know, now, Mr. Mayor, I'm kind of old, but I got a thing. I hope that somehow. I don't know if Vivian's still on the line or not, but over there, right there, where you know where the old diamond, Pine Street, where the baseball diamond was, where they play football at.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
I'm kind of old now, so I'm not gonna be able to get all that what I got to do. But if Jerome on the line and tell him, you know, just try to get somebody over there to get all that paper up against the fence. You go down there's a whole lot of it.
I got you.
You know.
Yes, sir.
So,
I get on it or I get it myself. Either way.
Yeah. I'm just saying it got to be. I'm kind of old. I did all that up the front, but I'm too old to kind of bend down around and get all of that. So I apologize.
We got your back.
You know.
No, we got your back. That's what we're supposed to do.
I'm a senior citizen now. Okay, and I'm gonna walk around and be over there with housing when they had a cleanup. And I just want to send a shout out to the new director. You know, I'm really proud of him. You know, the way you know. He's not sitting in that office all day long drinking a cup of coffee or something. He's out there with them. He got them every day picking up paper, trash, and I just see the beautification in my area. I'm so shocked and I'm proud to see how they cleaning up over in that area. You know.
Yeah.
And some of the seniors, and I got to shout out this, Mr. Mayor. I know Ann, I guess that's her name. Ann, the police officer for the community housing.
Summers, yeah, doing a great job over there for sure.
She's awesome. And then like I said, we was coming down through there and the guy had a U-Haul. In the back of the U-Haul, he had all these tree stumps that he was finna dump it over there in the field. And we caught him just like that. Bam. She got out there and gave him a ticket. You know, and there's no sense of people so angry they just want to dump in our area. Let's go to Inkster. You can dump what you want. Well, we got news from them. We got eyes and ears open now.
That's right.
You know, and I continue want to shout out to the seniors that really, you know, that's calling me about things that's going on and give us opportunity. You know, I praise that. You know.
Yes.
So I'm just hoping we'll be out there. I know we're gonna have a lot of fun out there on that fourth Saturday, trying to clean up stuff. So everybody mark that date and come out and show your face.
Oh, hey, and I was just corrected. It's Officer Arnica. I get them mixed up all the time. Arnica and Summers. So it's Arnica. Is Officer Arnica is in house.
Ain't it?
Arnica. No, it's actually a female. Yeah, she's doing a wonderful job.
No, we call her Officer A.
Yeah, Arnica. Yeah. Her name starts with an A.
Okay, well, tell Officer A. That's what we call over there in the meeting.
Hey,
doing an excellent job. So hey, I just want to send a shout out. You understand? And tell her she got to forgive me. I'm old, but I get the name right.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to say that the last thing I want to leave, Mr. Mayor, it's not a shopping thing. I am very disappointed at what I see in the audit. I'm very disappointed what I see. You know, some of the line items we got. But I need to ask BJ. Well, now he wouldn't know, but you wouldn't know. But maybe one of the older council people would know. I don't recall, unless it happened early before I got on council for the budget 19 to 20. I don't recall making a budget amendment. Do you recall? Is Children on the line still?
Yeah, I think we did do a budget amendment for 19.
Because I can't find the minutes on that. I'm trying to.
I think it was sometime in January, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, the budget amendment that we did do, because you all came in office in November 2019, and that budget amendment was in March of 2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was during COVID. Yeah, during the first offsets of COVID and that. Yeah.
It was, as a matter of fact, it was an in-person meeting. It was before COVID was announced, before everything got shut down and we went virtual. It was something, if you actually go back and watch the footage, there was some bit of confusion during that meeting. It did get handed to us that night at the meeting. And there were some dissatisfactions after the point once the budget amendment got passed. But that was March 2020, the first council meeting.
I'm just wondering, why would we make a budget amendment increasing expenditures when we was low in revenue? So I was just wondering, I said, when would we ever pass that budget like that?
Yeah, that amendment, it got passed. Like I said, there was a bit of confusion, but it was, when the amendments come, it's supposed to be bringing the budget into a line of what's already been spent, like overtime and things like that.
Exactly. BJ, I see you chirping. Did you want to say something?
No, I just wasn't sure if a question was going to arise. So
I don't think
Okay.
I don't think BJ was here.
No, he wasn't here during that time, but we were here, and I remember.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're definitely trying to get it right. You know, we want to make sure that we're presenting the right numbers for you all to be in line with what we're doing and what we're spending.
Because I'm saying, I was looking at the original figures in the budget,
right,
and then I look at the actual figures, and I was looking at the amendment figures. Okay.
Mhm.
Now I didn't put a date on that when it was amended. You see what I'm saying? But
we can go back and get that for you. City clerk, can you pull that up back to?
I couldn't
send the meeting some of minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna send that to you, so we'll all be on the same page. So we're gonna send out the INAP. We're gonna make sure we send that out to the council, and we're gonna send that out as well as the budget amendments for that time. I'm sorry, Reverend Williams. Anything else?
I was just saying, some of them figures that was taken from the original budget, put in there, it was unnecessary. So I don't know who put that together and brought it towards us. They caused us more damage than what we got now. I mean, that's how we got a lot of damage, because they went there putting figures up.
And I'm pretty sure that VJ is going to be ready for those questions on this coming Wednesday at 6 o'clock. We'll make sure that we answer as much as we can as we go through those line items.
Yeah, but he couldn't answer that because he wasn't here.
Oh, well, that's the minutes to talk to that, and we'll go from there. So we'll make sure we get that to you.
we'll have members from Plant Moran on as well, so they have a bit more historical knowledge and they can shed light on it.
Now, correct me if I'm right, if I'm wrong, Mr. Mayor, then I'm through. Okay, last year when we had a budget, when we were supposed to be meeting with the auditors, okay? Okay, we never had a meeting with the auditors. We had a meeting with Plant Moran and somebody else. We never did have a meeting with the auditors.
Yeah, Plant Moran, from my understanding, and you guys on council that's been here can, tell me if I'm wrong, but they've typically presented the audit each year once the audit is given up. But we can ask for Raymond to be on. I think that would be appropriate if that can happen. I don't know why we don't have them.
Let me say this, Mr. Mayor. I know I'm getting old, but every time I listen to the audit for the city of Inkster every year, okay? And last year, during the time we got in there, was the only year that I know that they didn't, the ring, whatever the name of the group is, didn't come in and get the auditors. And so I was asking the question. I wasn't on council, but I asked the question. I said, well, why is Plant Moran giving the audit?
Gotcha. We'll talk to Raymond about that, sir. I have no problem with making sure, because they were the ones that did it, so they should be presented.
Well, I know y'all got it set for a day, but I'm pretty sure don't get disappointed.
Oh, it'll be questions. We're gonna set it and keep the date going, because it is what it is. Since we need to get that out the way so we can move forward. Yeah. So I know you're gonna have more questions anyway it goes. So we'll have Raymond answer those questions. You got anything else for us, sir?
That's it, sir.
Okay. All right. Just a shout out to Ray Washington, sheriff for Wayne County. Him and his deputies came out and they did an Easter giveaway as well. And it was excellent in Henry Ruff and Michigan Avenue. So I know that he's definitely looking forward to working with us here in the community as the sheriff. and we're going to use him up as much as we possibly can. He told us to call for anything that we have going on in this community. So I'm putting it out to the community. If there's anything that you need from the sheriff, please don't hesitate to contact me. We're going to move from there. As it relates to property sales, we're getting a lot of calls for property sales within the community. We do have a list of our lots online as it relates to what we have available in the city. Stephanie Taylor, along with Peggy Bishop, is going to be kind of taking the lead on that, working with Tracy Ann and of course myself to make sure that we get those with the checklist that you guys asked for, making sure that nobody owes anything and doing our due diligence and make sure that we present those properly. So people have been asking what's going on with that, but you'll see some property sales coming back up at our next council meeting, because we do have right now on our table at least 20 or so. So we put pause and made sure that we had the checklist together that you guys asked for, and making sure that we're doing all of our due diligence before we submit it to you and had the right information for you. So I thank Stephanie and Peggy for helping us with that process. We will be, the realtor's contract has expired, and it's been expired for some time. So we want to make sure that we put that out. So we're going to be formulating a request for proposal to go out into the community, because we do have some other folks, Ernestine Williams and Rebecca Daniels, that want to be involved as well with their firms doing real estate here in the city of Inkster, and probably anybody else that's up and coming. We want to make sure we give you that opportunity as well. You guys spoke pretty much on everything else, so I just want to just echo as it relates to just staying clean, safe, and productive here in the city of Inkster. It's very important that we all work together, and curb appeal is the best thing for us, as we're looking for new businesses to come into Inkster, retaining the businesses that we have. Of course, new residents coming into Inkster and retaining the residents that we have. We need to be clean, safe, and accessible. And we can do that only by working together. All right, call for adjournment. There's support to adjourn?
So move, Mr.
You want to say?
So move.
Support.
Support. All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried, meeting adjourned. You guys have a wonderful rest of your week. See you in the next couple of weeks. Or actually see you on Wednesday.